Okay, so I'm going to be addressing a question dear to my heart that I get quite passionate about. I get into lots of conversations on Facebook and other social media platforms. And I don't know whether I'm attracted to the controversial or I don't know what it is, but one of the things I talk about a lot is the lies taught to us by the natural health world. Now, most of my time I'm talking about lies that come from the pharmaceutical industry and from the government and other official bodies, but there's plenty of lies in the natural health world. One of them I talk about regularly is the whole vegan diet being healthy. I'm sure if you follow me, you'll have seen me talk about that. And this subject that I want to talk about today is related. And I did a post on my page a few days ago, maybe 2 days ago, I'm not sure now, about the whole alkaline diet stuff. You know, the idea that that we can change our pH by changing what we eat. Now, this is a complete lie, and I want to get into that a little bit. And the usual foundation that begins all of this. Let me just share my screen for a second, and I'm going to give an example right here of one of the sites that are using this argument that I see all over the place. So it's Dr. Otoo Warburg, and it's a quote from him: "No disease, including cancer, can exist in an alkaline environment." Okay, that's what Dr. Otto Warburg says, and he was a great doctor, and therefore, if he's saying that, we have to take it seriously, right? The problem with that is he didn't say it. It's a lie. He didn't say it. He never would have said it. It's absolute rubbish. It's a quote attributed to him to give it respectability. But he didn't say it. But nobody in the natural health world, not nobody, but not many people seem to bother to check to see if he said it. Just try Googling it and find where he said that, and you won't find it. And it's interesting because when I say it's not true, people say to me, prove it. I'm like, hold on a minute. When somebody told you it was true, you obviously didn't require them to prove it because they couldn't have done. But if I say it's not true, suddenly proof is demanded. It's interesting how that works. We see the same thing in the pro-vaccine lot and so on and so on, where they suddenly demand proof about stuff when they've never needed any proof up to that point on anything that they believe. Anyway, this is quite easy to prove, but I can't prove it for you. You're going to have to prove it for yourself. So get onto, and even Google, which is not my favorite search engine, especially when you're looking up information in areas like this, but in this particular case, it will work fine. So get onto Google or your favorite search engine and try and find the source for this quote: "No disease, including cancer, can exist in an alkaline environment." Just try and find that quote. You're not going to find it. I didn't need to do that to know it was rubbish, because I understand just enough science, enough biology, enough basics to know automatically that it was false, because I know that the blood in a human being is alkaline. And I know that we have blood cancers that not just survive, but thrive sufficiently to kill people, that start and thrive in that blood, which is alkaline. It's not acidic because you only have to go, so 7 is neutral, above 7 is alkaline, below 7 is acidic. If you're at 6.9, like 1 point below 7, if your blood was at 6.9, you are in serious trouble. Drops 1 more point and you're on death's door, you're going to die. 1 more point and you are dead, and even at the 6.8, you're probably going to be dead. So you can't have acidic blood without being on death's door. You're going to die if it's that acidic. Okay, so blood cancer, okay, starts at the very least when just before you die. It might be acidic, but when it starts and when it thrives, it's in an alkaline environment of your blood. Okay, that should be obvious. Everybody should know that your blood is slightly alkaline. Everybody should know that there's something called blood cancer. Just those 2 facts alone I guess people must assume that your blood becomes acidic before the cancer starts. I guess, I don't know, but it doesn't. That's not the case. Okay, so this little truth should be sufficient to blow that quote that Otto Warburg didn't make out of the water. Then when you study and you do a little bit of research and you find out that he didn't say it, then that should then become very, very clear. Hi, Tina. I've just turned my chat on and just seen that. So hi, Tina. So okay, so not only that, but they grow cancer in a petri dish on an alkaline base very often. So the idea that cancer and other diseases can't happen in an alkaline environment is complete idiotic ridiculousness that nobody that has any grasp of science would ever say. And if you ever get anybody quoting Otto Warburg saying that, who's claiming to be some kind of a health coach or a company, because the companies do it. I see it on company websites, this quote, you know, that sell certain supplements and what have you. They're either deceiving you because they're trying to sell you a product, or they are so untrained and lacking in knowledge of this whole topic that you do not want to be taking any advice from them. Okay, this is a serious, like ridiculous claim. Okay, so let's have a look at, you just Google, can cancer survive in an alkaline state? And we've got this right at the top, disease, not just cancer, disease cannot survive in an alkaline state. Right at the top of Google, which we just established is wrong, just logically, and we'll get into it in a little bit more detail. Hopefully I won't need to go too far. But so this idea is everywhere. Why? Because they are trying to promote a plant-only diet, which is claimed to be alkaline, which it isn't. But you know, we'll get to that as well. Okay, so so to start with, then, this idea is not just a small idea that's in little corners, it is everywhere, even Google. Interestingly, if you look down the page just a little bit further, you're going to see where it says, is cancer acidic or basic? Basic means alkaline. And it says a computational study co-authored by computational chemist Michael Frigolo from the Institute of Research in Biomedicine in Barcelona has demonstrated that cancer cells proliferate less and less, less and in a less robust manner when their internal pH is lowered. That is to say, it becomes more acidic. So in other words, as the cancer cell becomes more acidic, it gets less strong, less robust, it proliferates less. Interesting, that happens to be right below the Google comment about it being all diseases can't survive in an alkaline state. In fact, if you're too alkaline, that is more dangerous than being too acidic. You're more likely to die being too alkaline than you are from being too acidic. I mean, you don't want to be either, obviously, but too alkaline is more dangerous. Okay, so let's continue. I just thought I would show this page. It's because it's MD Anderson, one of the world's most famous cancer hospitals. I don't agree with the conventional approach to cancer at all, but I just thought this was interesting because they are talking about an alkaline diet, and they speak about the alkaline diet is a theory based on eating certain foods can change your body's acid levels. Some believe that changing your body's pH can improve your health, blah, blah, blah. Then they say this, they say, well, I'm trying not to highlight everything. They say, but there's no way the foods you eat can alter the pH level of your blood. The body's pH is a tightly regulated system. If you change your diet, you may see changes in the pH of your saliva or urine because these are waste products, but there's no way you could ever eat enough that really impacts your blood. Okay, so that is a scientific basic understanding. MD Anderson are just repeating what's well understood by scientists. but apparently not by those involved in natural health. They don't seem to get this, they don't seem to grasp this. They cannot provide any evidence that a diet can change your blood pH or your tissue pH. Yes, as they just say, you can easily change your urine or saliva, which is just waste products coming out. But that's not changing the actual your actual blood. So I just thought that would be interesting, just to show that there's lots and lots of scientific pages that say the same as that food cannot change, or water, alkaline water, etc., cannot change your pH. It can change your urine, it can change your saliva, which go up and down with the wind depending on what's going on with your body, because your body uses that to excrete stuff as part of its mechanism of adjusting pH. By the way, your body does have to adjust pH, and it does that through respiration, through your renal, like your kidneys, and through certain proteins. With respiration, for example, you can change your pH of your blood, right, in minutes. With respiration, I don't know what they think you'd have to do with food, eat certain foods for 6 months, and I don't know. But respiration, you breathe in, you have carbon dioxide as a result of that process. Carbon dioxide is then split into two things: carbonic acid and bicarbonate, and the bicarbonate is then used to buffer acidity. So you can make bicarbonate through breathing. How cool is that? So that's one of the methods that your body uses, along with your kidneys, and along with certain proteins. So your body is very effective. It has to be at adjusting pH, because your pH has to, of your blood in particular, is a very tight window. If it drops to 6.8, you're going to die. If it goes up to 7.8, you're going to die. It has to keep it, and even before that, you're getting sick and very unhealthy. It's a very small window. It should be 7.35 to 7.45. That's your window, and it's going to use the methods I just mentioned to adjust that, not your diet. Okay. Interestingly, the food they claim is alkalizing. Its pH is usually acidic, but what they claim is that it burns and leaves an alkaline ash. There isn't even an ash. Food, it doesn't burn, it oxidizes. It doesn't burn. You don't get left with an ash. The whole thing is ridiculous. Okay, so but as I say, so the easy thing to do. Am I cutting out? I'm cutting out for you, Rain. Maybe it's just you. Am I cutting out Blemmer? Am I cutting out Tina? Or is it just Rain with a rubbish connection? Hopefully, I'm not cutting out. Sometimes I do have a poor connection, so it's possible. So the whole premise of being alkaline, helping you to resist disease, it comes out of the idea that cancer tumours typically have an acidic environment around them. Tina says that hers is fine, Rain. It's you. I'm glad I can blame someone else. So cancer typically has an acidic environment around it, and they then think it's been caused by that acid. Well, no, it hasn't. Cancer creates its own acidic environment through a process of anaerobic respiration, which is to say that what happens is, which Otto Warburg did say, is that there's a drop in oxygen for a variety of reasons, and that drop in oxygen results, if it's too much of a drop, like 35%, what happens is the cells can't survive. They're not getting enough oxygen, and so they switch their method of making energy, and they switch from aerobic respiration to anaerobic respiration, which is to say they use fermentation to make energy, and the process of fermentation creates lactic acid, which creates an acidic environment as a result of the respiration of the cancer that's already there. But it's this whole correlation thing where you see something and blame it as the cause. Now, being acidic is not the cause. Now, do we want our blood acidic? Of course we don't. That is going to be damaging to our health. But the cause of cancer is toxicity, and toxins do create acidity as well. So you find the acidity and say, oh, the acid is causing the cancer. No, the toxins, the carcinogenic toxins, are causing cancer. So it's based on an association, a correlation, which is false in the first place. And then they go the next step and try to claim that foods can change your pH based on the fact that they can change your urine pH and they can change your saliva pH, and they just say, but presume without any evidence. In fact, the evidence all strongly contradicts it, that the foods actually can change your blood pH and tissue pH and so on, which they can't. And your body, by the way, needs to be acidic in some areas. So your skin is acidic, your stomach is very acidic, like somewhere between 1 and 4, very, very acidic. And it's supposed to be. And by the way, that they say that bacteria and so on thrive in an acidic environment. Why do you think your gut is very acidic? It's to kill bacteria and fungi and all these things. That's why it's very acidic. So no, acids kill bacteria and fungus and what have you. And in the right place, your body is acidic. So your skin has an acid barrier to bacteria and fungi and all the rest of it. Your gut, because those are the two places that come into contact with with pathogens. Either you eat them or they touch your skin. So both are acidic for that reason, not alkaline. You don't want it to be alkaline. You do not want your skin to be alkaline. You do not want your stomach to be alkaline. You do not want to be drinking loads of alkaline water when you're eating. It's going to conflict with your acidic stomach. It's going to mean you're forcing your body to produce more acid. Most people are struggling to produce enough acid already. So, in conclusion, unless I get any questions while I'm concluding, in conclusion, there is a huge lie being told in the natural health world that we need to be alkaline to avoid disease, and cancer in particular, but disease in general. And that to be alkaline, they ignore all the actual systems that your body uses to alkalize itself, i.e. producing bicarbonate. And they instead say that it's all down to the foods we choose, and the foods must be plants, basically. That's what they say. Now, if meat made you acidic, it'd be very easy to show that, because there are people who only eat meat and animal fats. That's it, their entire diet. There are cultures that do that. And there are people within our own culture that do that. And all we'd need to do is get some of these people and check their blood and see if it was acidic. And what we'll find is it's not. Okay, so they're eating only so-called acidic food, nothing else, no alkalizing food at all. Somehow or other, they haven't got acidic blood. That should be enough. That should blow out the whole argument on its own. Although finding out that Otoo Warburg didn't make the claim that underpins most of their whole position should be another major block to this whole ridiculous, idiotic position. Seriously, it blows me away that people still believe this, that the food makes you alkaline, and that being alkaline makes you disease resistant. Well, no disease can thrive, apparently. If you're a vegan, you shouldn't get any disease on that basis, because they only eat alkalizing foods, right? So vegans should get no disease. In fact, they have higher rates of certain cancers, for example, and certain other diseases. I don't know. I just can't get my head around how anyone can be a critical thinker and a logical, rational person and hold on to this belief that that having a diet that alkalizes you. So, first of all, that the diet does alkalize you. Secondly, that by doing so, you now can't have any disease thrive in you. Blows me away. Of course, if you really did believe that and wanted to do that, the easiest thing would be to eat whatever you want and drink bicarbonate of soda. Job done. That's going to alkalize you. If that really did work, because that's a much stronger alkaline than any food that you're going to eat. So drink bicarbonate of soda, eat whatever you want, you're going to be more alkaline than everybody else if that method actually works to alkalize you. So you don't have to worry about diet now. I've just sorted your problem. You just drink bicarbonate of soda or potassium bicarbonate, and you'll be sorted. Now, actually, there is a place for doing that. But anyway, okay. So hopefully, guys, that's got you to think and to research if you didn't know this stuff already. If you did, good on you. If you didn't, I really suggest that you do some research and start doing searches on whether food can change your blood pH. And then if you read it can somewhere, don't accept that. Say, okay, what's the evidence for that? Show the proof of that. How many Brussels sprouts do I need to change my blood pH by 1 point? Get kind of that kind, because there should be an equation, right? If you've got Coca-Cola, it's a certain pH, not sure what it is, probably about 2, I'm not sure. And if you've got bicarbonate of soda, there would be an equation. If you wanted to get the Coca-Cola to 7, right, there's going to be an equation. You're going to need X amount of bicarbonate of soda, and it's going to do that every time because that works, right? So equally, you should be able to do that with food. If you eat so many cabbages and you know your blood is a little bit acidic, let's say it's 7.3, that's too acidic, you don't want it there. So you eat 10 cabbages and then it's 7.35. There should be those studies, they don't exist because that's not going to happen, because it isn't going to change. It isn't going to change your pH at all. Now, here's something that will change your pH, aside from the 3 bodily methods. So what's one of the things that increases your acidity? It's acidifying toxins. So if you're full of acidifying toxins, okay, heavy metals and the like, then that's your body's going to have to be counterbalancing that all the time, and you could help your body out by removing those said heavy metal toxins or pesticides or herbicides or whatever they are. Best way of doing that is with PBX. Not going to talk about that on this video, but those of you that follow me will know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's going to help, just removing the direct cause of much of the excess acidity. All right, that's me done. I hope you've enjoyed that. Thanks for spending some time with me, and God bless. Have a great day. Share, because people don't know this stuff. Naturally health-minded people, apparently doctors, in many cases, natural doctors, don't know this stuff. You know, all kinds of health gurus apparently don't know this. It's crazy, but it's true. Unbelievable to me. Goodbye, over and out.